Hey you guys, it's Nicole. So I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I've been learning about myself since I've gotten sober, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And I don't know how this video is going to go. I don't know how I'm going to feel talking about it, but I want to share it with you guys. So what I've learned being sober is that a lot of drug addicts and alcoholics will drink or use because they are self-medicating to cover up or get away from or hide some kind of internal pain, some kind of internal trauma, something that could have happened when they were younger that maybe they don't even remember. And I wanted to talk to you guys about my pain that I've been covering up, and my trauma, my sickness. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that. I grew up in a family that's very, very loving. My parents are still married. They'll be married for like 54 years or something like that in a couple of days. I think it's October, I think is their, no, June was their anniversary. Anyway, they've been married a long time. I have two little sisters. And when I was growing up, my life was, for the most part, really good. My dad worked really hard, but he wasn't at home a lot because he was working to provide for our family. As a little girl, I always wanted to spend time with my dad, but he wasn't around. He was always at work. I can remember, as far back as I can remember wanting to spend time with my dad specifically. And he had to go to work. And when he would get home in the afternoons, he would sleep because he worked the night shift at that time. I was always trying to impress him. I was always trying to do really good at sports because we played fast pitch softball and I played basketball. And my sister was always just like better than I was. She was always just better at sports. And then my baby sister Christine was good at music. I was the oldest. When I was probably about 10 years old, we went to California to see my grandmother and to spend like 3 weeks with her. And my dad stayed back in Arkansas. And when we were there, my mother's mom had a helper that would like get the groceries for her and bring them in from the car, and he would just do little odd jobs for her around the house. His name was Alfred. Well, one day we were outside and we were all playing hide and go seek, me and my sisters and all my cousins. And y'all, let me tell you, my mom's side of the family is Mexican, so I had like 15 cousins, a lot. So we're all running around playing hide and go seek, and I decided I was gonna hide underneath my grandpa's truck in the garage, and Alfred was under there hiding. And at the time I was like 10 years old, you guys, and he was 17, okay? And while we were under the truck, he touched me. He fondled me. He touched my private. He touched my vagina. He went underneath my panties and he stuck his fingers inside of me. And I just remember feeling really uncomfortable. And I also remember feeling like I was going to get in trouble. Because as far back as I can remember, my mom always told me that you don't have sex before you get married because you save it for your husband. And I didn't know what was happening, but I know that he touched me like that, and I got up real quick And I think I left. That's all I can remember. I think I blocked out a lot of it. But I left. And I ran off and went and hid somewhere else. And I never told anybody, ever again. Until I turned like 17 years old, I told my mom. After that happened to me, I became very promiscuous. Like, I felt like I needed to get attention from guys, and that if they liked me, then they would, you know, be giving me attention and flirting with me, and, you know, things that girls do. And so I started having sex when I was about 17, and I fell in love with this guy, and we're not even going to go there. But from a young age, I incorporated sex with love, and I incorporated inappropriate touching with that, meaning they loved me, you know. And I always was trying to find or get my dad's attention and have that love from him that I felt that I was not getting because he was at work a lot. So I was like always trying to get an attention of a male. It was always about that for me, you guys. So when I got older, about 17, like I said, and I grew into myself, and people started being attracted to me, and I got my first boyfriend. Then I started to be like really promiscuous and sleep around and cheat on my boyfriend. And that's where I first started realizing that I could use drugs and alcohol to make me feel more confident and to fill me up inside. And when I would use drugs and alcohol, I could party, and I felt popular, and I felt pretty, and I felt outgoing. And that's how it all started. It all started as something that made me feel untouchable. And then it grew into something that I did to make me not remember. Because throughout my addiction, I was raped. Brutally raped, y'all. I mean, horribly raped. That was right at the beginning of my addiction. And this guy, who I trusted, cut the breakers off inside the house that I was living at, and chased me around till he found me, drugged me across the carpet, told me if I didn't give it to him, he was going to take it. And he put it in my butt and hurt me so bad. It was horrible, you guys. And I will never forget that. But after that happened, I would use forget, to not think about it. And I would cry, and I would use some more. And then I started to get to a point where I couldn't work a job, and I would have to make money to get my drugs. And I would have to do things with guys that I'm not proud of. I never sold my body, but I would sleep with my drug dealer. I would lower my standards, you know, that to do what I had to do to get drugs. And so the more things that I did like that, the more my self-esteem went down, 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 down. But it all started out as me just being a young girl who I wanted my dad's attention, and he was working and trying to take care of my family, and I don't know why I wanted his attention so badly, you guys. I don't know. I just always looked up to my dad. I'm just so much like him, and it's not anything he did. Like, he couldn't have known that I was going to be like that. But that's where my pain started out. That's where my I'm not good enough started out. I wanted to share that with you guys, and next time I'll talk to you guys more about what I did in my addiction and how I medicated myself in my addiction to do those things. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Whew, I may get off here. I never realized how much, like, I'm a daddy's girl, and I always looked up to my dad so much. Like, he is such a strong man, and he's just smart, and I always wanted to be like him and my mom, you know. But And talking about it has made me realize, like, how much, like, I really just wanted to be with my dad and do stuff with him. And at the time, when I was younger and I was impressionable, it really affected me not being able to spend time with him because he was at work. So I just didn't realize it until I've been thinking about it, because I've been talking to our friend that makes videos too, her opiate fix. And I started really trying to think about where my pain came from, why. And now it's just like all coming to me about, I'm always searching for that dad figure in my life, that stability from a man in my life, instead of reaching inside myself and building up my own stability. Do y'all know what I mean? I learn stuff new about myself every day, you guys. And I'm just grateful today that I'm not getting high, and I can learn these things, and I can fix this stuff, and I can work on it so that way I can become better. I love you guys. Bye.